Hello, beautiful people. Hello, everyone. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, everyone. It's time for Tales with Tosinger. I hope you're all keeping safe and healthy in this. Whew, what a time! What a time! What a time! What a moment in time! The season of the coronavirus spreading like wildfire across the world, but we are all united in one purpose: to fight this common enemy of the virus. And I hope you're doing your part, washing your hands, not touching your face if it's dirty, staying away from other people for now, socially distant. If you're feeling symptoms, being quarantined, just helping your neighbor, the elderly, the helpless out there. I hope you're doing all that, and hopefully this too shall pass. And that's the prayers up for those who have lost loved ones, prayers up for those who are in the healing process. And we keep on praying and we keep on doing our part, because we know that faith without works is dead. So as we all join in faith and prayer, we also do our part to stop the spread of this virus. And since most people are in seclusion, schools are closed, so I'm putting content out there just to keep people, entertained, educated, as usual, with Tales with Tosinger, where I share African folk tales from the past and the present. And speaking of seclusion that everybody is in right now, like people are isolated, that brings me to the folk tale that I want to share today is in line with that. Some seclusion in there. So when everybody was told to be socially distant, it reminded me of this folk tale. So I said I'm going to share it with you today. And the title of the folk tale is The King and His Three Beautiful Daughters. Story, 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 you say story, 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 you say story. Once upon a time, you say time, time. You know the drift. Once upon a time, time, time. There lived a king, and he had three beautiful daughters, princesses, of course. But guess what? He was so possessive. He was so guarded. He didn't want them out of his sight because he thought, oh, they're so beautiful. So he secluded them in a section of the palace and just watched them grow, never let them have human contact. And he was just delighted to have them, in a way, imprisoned in the palace. They were literally imprisoned. So as the ladies started growing, they started becoming young ladies. And then he realized, my daughters are growing up. They're gonna have to get married soon. But I am so protective. I just don't want them to go into the arms of any man. I need to make sure the man that each one of them marries is perfect for them. And he thought about it. He said, what can I do to make things difficult? What can I do to make things difficult? Because deep inside of him, he didn't really want to let them go, but he knows that it's time for them to go. So he was trying to make it so difficult for all the suitors out there who wanted to marry the king's daughters. So he said, anyone who can guess their names will be able to marry them. And then he sent the town crier out to the village square to announce, and he announced, anyone who can guess the king's daughters' names, get to marry them. Spread the word far and wide. And princes and noblemen and chiefs from different parts of the community and even beyond the village came guessing. They just started guessing, because guess what? The king also promised half of his kingdom to whoever was able to guess their name right, not just to give their hands in marriage. He also promised to give half of his kingdom. That's a lot. Half of his kingdom and his daughter's hands in marriage. So all of them are like, woo, what a deal, They were like, ooh, I want. So they all went and started guessing the king's daughter's name, but unfortunately, because they were so protected and no one knew, nobody guessed right. Nobody guessed right. So, you know who who decided to try? The tortoise. Oh, the tortoise. Here we go again. Here we go again with the tortoise. Always sneaky. So the tortoise thought, I know they'll think of me as, worthless. I have no value in the community. I'm just a small, slow creature. They probably wouldn't even look, but I got a game plan, he said. I got a game plan. You know what he did? He went and climbed on top of a tree. And then he realized that at certain times of the day, the daughters came out to play, to get some vitamin D from the sun. So he said this particular time of the day, the daughters come out. So he started watching them and watching them. He hid, he's small. So he hid himself on top of the tree and watched the girls play. He noticed that the girls loved to, pick the fruits that fell from the trees. He noticed that. And that's what they played with amongst themselves. And after a while, they went back in. So when he realized that, one day, he went before the girls came out and gathered all the fruits that already fell on the floor, gathered it. And then the girls came. And when the girls came out to play on this particular day, they noticed, wow, this is odd. There's no fruit on the floor. And the tortoise realized, And then he dropped one near one of the girls. And the girl was like, oh. And in most Yoruba folktales, when there's like messages being passed across from one person to another, they actually sing it. And this was the song one of the daughters started singing to the other two girls when the fruit fell. She referred to the fruit as Keke for some reason. Keke means bicycle, but the fruit was probably some fruit like a fruit called the ajalubale. But she called it Keke, maybe because they were so, I don't know, always inside the house. They didn't know the right word for the fruit. I don't know, but they called the fruit Keke, and she started singing. Mori keke kan gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin Opobipobi Gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin Opobipobi Gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin Oripolobi Gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin Mori keke kan Gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin. She said, the tortoise was like, ooh, that's one of the names, that's one of the names. So he said, you know what, just for me to confirm, I'm going to drop a second fruit to another of the daughters and let's see what she sings. So the tortoise went ahead and dropped another fruit at one of the feet of another daughter, and the second daughter to start singing. Mori keke kan gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin Mori keke kan gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin Opobipobi Gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin Opobipobi Gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin Oripolobi Gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin Mori keke kan gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin. Tortoise was like, I think I got this. I think I got this. And then he waited and said, you know what? Let's just try one more time. Might as well. And dropped another fruit at the feet of the third princess. The third princess too started singing. She was quite happy that she too had a fruit dropped just for her. And then she got the attention of the other two princesses and started singing. Mori keke kan gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin Keke kan obìnrin ajalubale Gbinrin Opobipobi Gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin Opobipobi Gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin Oripolobi Gbinrin ajalubale Gbinrin. And then the music went on, and then the tortoise said, you know what? I am going to memorize that song and the names. And then he sent word the next day, feeling so excited, and said to the king, I know the names of your daughters. went to the king's court and told the court messengers, I'm here to let the king know that I know the names of your daughters and I want to marry them. The court messengers started laughing. What? This one must be dreaming. They were talking amongst themselves. The tortoise kept saying, let me see the king. It's my right to see the king. As a citizen of this village, as a citizen of this town, I am allowed to see the king. And the court messengers were like, let's just give him room for ridicule. Let's just give him an opportunity to be ridiculed. Let's just let him go ahead. So they said, okay, go ahead and see the king. And when the king was told that the tortoise, he said, the tortoise? Tortoise? What? He started laughing too. He said, okay, let's just give him a chance. And then the tortoise came and said, I know the names of your daughters and I'm here to marry them and get half of your kingdom. And said, the name of your daughters are Opobipobi, and Oripolobi. The king was exasperated. He said, what? He felt so embarrassed. He was like, what? The tortoise? Boy, he had no choice. A promise is a debt. He now said, okay, I guess I have to give my hands in marriage to this twat and half of my kingdom. And that's how the tortoise became the king's-in-law and became very rich. And that's the end of the story. And as usual, lessons from that story. Be careful when you make promises. Be careful when you make promises. A promise is a debt. Be careful about the kind of promises that you make. Be careful about the promises you make. Okay. And that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you so much for joining. I hope you like it. Like this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Share with your friends. And I hope to see you on the next video. Next episode of Tales with Tosinger. Thanks for joining me and be safe out there. Bye. This is a sheker. You see, it's a gourd, which is a plant. You can read more online. Just Google the word shekere written across the screen, and it has like beads with strings, carefully designed, placed around it to give that shiki sound. Is a very prominent instrument in Yoruba music, Yoruba folk, Yoruba high life, Yoruba music in general. So that's a shekere for you. It can be played anyhow. Oh, yeah, anyhow. So that's a shekere.